There is so much misinformation being shared about the Federal Reserve right now. I just wanted to come on here and kind of break things down very quickly. So first off, supposedly, Treasury Secretary Bessent says that he will be potentially becoming the Federal Reserve chairman next. I will do anything that the president wants. This is laughable. If you know anything about the Federal Reserve, if you know anything about the whole purpose of them, they're independent, right? They're supposed to be nonpartisan. Getting someone from the Trump administration and putting them in position of power for the head of the Federal Reserve just makes zero sense. So there's a bunch of especially crypto profiles that are trying to push this narrative that in just a few weeks, Jerome Powell is going to get replaced, Bessent is going to replace him, and they're going to cut rates, turn on the printing machine, and markets are going to go to new all-time highs. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. This won't ever happen. They won't fire Jerome Powell because they don't have the power in doing so. Jerome Powell will fulfill his term, which is until May of 2026. Let's get that through our head. Speaking naive only just makes you look like a fool. The second thing that I want you to understand is I'm not here to say that, let me just first share this, is that Fed Chair Jerome Powell is set to speak tomorrow, Tuesday, July 1st at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time for a policy panel discussion. So by the time that the market opens, we should begin his speech. We'll probably be live streaming it on the background of our live trading session. So if you want to tune into my live trading session, it's going to be the second link in the description down below. Not only will we be trading the markets live, but we'll also be hearing what Jerome Powell says and seeing how the markets react. But again, in my opinion, he is one of the most influential people in the market right now, other than Trump when he sent out a tweet of buy now or new all-time highs coming and doing his little market manipulation from there. But the thing that also a bunch of people have wrong is that they continue to state that Jerome Powell hates Trump, but they also are naive to not understand that Jerome Powell was nominated by Donald Trump back in 2017. And again, approved and confirmed by the Senate in 2018, and then reappointed by President Joe Biden and confirmed in Senate of 2022. So again, it's not that it's a hate or love relationship. I'm sure he's not the biggest fan of someone calling him too late Powell in front of the entire world and making a mockery of his position. But at the end of the day, Jerome Powell has a job to do, right? And that's to be independent. That's to not be influenced by what the president wants, but to do what is best according to what they see to be fit as the Federal Reserve, right? The Federal Reserve has made their intentions very clear from the beginning. I'm not here to say that you should agree with them. I'm just saying that you should not be surprised that they have not cut rates. They said that their target is 2% inflation. We're currently at 2.4%, an uptick from 2.3 when it comes down to, if I'm not mistaken, core CPI. Inflation is no longer going down, it's actually going up. And if these tariffs begin to get reported, and what we recently saw with crude oil, it begins to uptick, you should not be surprised if inflation continues to go higher. So again, supporting the case that no, makes no sense to be cutting rates. It doesn't matter what other countries are doing. This little chart is to show all the other countries because, again, to the naive American that doesn't understand what it is that they're looking at would see this and be like, what the heck, Japan, Cambodia, Denmark, Thailand? Yeah, we should be at 1%. Yeah, screw Jerome Powell. Yes, Trump. It's like, it's insane to me that people rally for politicians like they're sports teams. These are individuals, right? And I'm not here to say that these individuals aren't right. I'm just saying that these individuals make mistakes and they also make decisions that we don't always agree with, just like the people that you love in your life. You're not always going to agree with what it is that they do or say. Why? Because you're an individual and they're their own individual. And again, you're never going to see eye to eye with everything. Why would you pretend to bend the knee to someone that, again, doesn't even know you exist, yet alone always changes their mind or says things just to get a reaction out of people? Is that, who cares that other countries are at 1%? Of course, it would be amazing to have 1% rates. But again, the Federal Reserve, that hasn't been the focus for the United States, at least not now. And the thing that I don't like about this is that then it shows only a few countries right around our same rate of 4.5%. But it also doesn't show all the other countries that are much higher than us, right? Saudi Arabia, 5%, India, 5.5%, Indonesia, 5.5%, South Africa, 7.25%, Mexico, 8%, Brazil, 15%, Russia, 20%, Argentina, 29%, and Turkey, 46%. Again, why only show things that meet and help your narrative, but not showcase that other very large and successful countries and economies are also at a much higher rate, much higher than 4.5%, because it simply would not help your narrative. Very simple. All of this insulting does nothing but, in my opinion, cheapen the presidency, right? The other thing that I quickly want to share is this is not a Republican or a Democrat thing. One of the main reasons that Trump is getting so irritating when it comes down to cutting rates is because we have $9 trillion, to my understanding, that needs to get refinanced by the end of the year. Right now, based off of this recent update, I wanted to show you. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. All of these presidents are contributing to our deficit. Previously, it was 31 trillion. Now we're sitting at 37 trillion. And according to the Big Beautiful Bill and what it's set to add, that's another $5 trillion within the next 5 to 10 years. And that's why Elon is losing it again. And again, this could be another video that I can upload, maybe talk a little bit more detail tomorrow on why he's going on a complete tangent and going off of all these different politicians. But the whole point that I want you to understand is why Trump is losing it. Trump is losing it because he needs to refinance the U.S. debt, and he wants to do it at a lower rate. But he can't do it at a lower rate when Jerome Powell isn't cutting rates, because when Jerome Powell begins to cut rates, he lowers interest rates. So for people like you and I, businesses, and for the United States, they get to borrow at lower rates. And that's what Trump wants. Imagine taking a loan out for 3% and currently having at 3%, but then when you refinance, it's going to be at 5 or 5.5%. That's what he's kind of experiencing, right? Who wants higher rates? No one does. But again, Trump, welcome to America, right? It's not that we want higher rates, but based off of the current economic or economy that we're in, that's what we're given. And like you've said before, it's not terrible to be at 4.5%, but it doesn't help the position that you're currently in. And I get it. It makes things more expensive. Right now, the U.S. is paying about $1 trillion in interest payments alone. But the thing that I wanted you to understand, it's not just the simple solution of just cut rates because we should, so everyone borrows at a cheaper rate. It's the reaction. If we cut rates and do it aggressively as he's asking us to do, sure, it could technically make it less expensive for people to borrow money and therefore boost the economy. But then at that point, we might experience the same hyperinflation that we experienced back from 2021 all the way back to 2023, sending us back to an inflation rate of 9.1% and markets more irrational than we've ever seen before. Again, everything has a reaction. And the whole thing that really boggles my mind is how people are just so blind to do their own due diligence and learn more about why the Federal Reserve is doing what it is that they're doing. Not that you have to agree with them, but that you understand that, okay, they're not doing anything that is out of the norm. He's made it very clear that they want to focus on economic data, and until economic data supports a rate cut, they have no expectation in cutting rates. Regardless if you agree or not, he's made that very clear from the beginning in the first series of rate cuts. So it's not a I love or hate Trump or I love or hate Democrats. It's just they're doing their job. It's a nonpartisan, independent committee. That is the reason that they were created. That is why they are the central bank, not to be influenced or told what to do by the president of the United States that has an ego problem. And again, he's not a sports team. He's an individual. And it's okay to disagree with some of the things that he says because, surprise, surprise, he's not always going to be right. And that's okay to acknowledge, right? So again, just wanted to break this down in a way that I hope is easy to understand, and hopefully this can motivate you that when any news is shared, that you can take time, not just react, but do your own due diligence to understand and ask the question, why? Why is this happening? And again, I think at that point, you'll become more informed and less emotional and less irrational. We'll talk about this in a little bit more detail in tomorrow's live trading session. Again, Jerome Powell is set to go live right at market open, right around 9:30. So if you're part of our LPP team, I'll make sure that in tomorrow's live trading session, we have it trading in the background. Again, second link in the description down below if you want to join that live session. If not, we'll see you guys on the next one. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.